When we exchange our hard-earned cash for a game, it's a simple contract. Money in exchange for gratification in the form of a well-designed or sometimes not so well-designed game. But occasionally a condition of the contract is a waiting period for the best levels, weapons, stadiums and characters as you grind through the game first. Game designers like to think that the sweetest form of gratification is delayed, and to make it work they have to tease and coerce the player by dangling a carrot on a stick. But often this delay can start interfering with how we want to play the game, and as a result our brains are more frustrated than satisfied. The most common and arguably least fair form of delayed gratification is locked content, where a large portion of the game is sealed away from the players until they complete a requisite amount of tasks or challenges. To many, such practices seem patently unfair. Gamers buy sports games for the amount of stadiums and players they can pick from, races for the amount of tracks and cars. Disc in hand, they've already paid their cash, but now the game's forcing them to pay with their time. For example, to play the game Nintendogs and Cats, you would think you'd get access to those cats straight away, what with the feature being right there in the game title. But no, it was more than shrink wrap that separated gamers from the Nintendo cats. They were locked away like something as petty as an alternate costume. Such practices were also applied to the Guitar Hero franchise, giving first-time rockers a minuscule opening playlist. But more recent games offered players a compromise. All songs were available in free play, while some extra content was still locked away in the campaign mode. Races like Gran Turismo 5 advertised a total of 1,074 cars, but kept the majority of them locked away in the garage from the very beginning. Some saw this as a challenge, but it meant nothing but frustration for anyone who just wanted to take a Bugatti Veyron out for a quick spin. Today, many AAA multiplayer shooters not only lock out the better gear, but they also rely on the competitive nature that erupts from unbalanced competition. What better way to taunt you with the best gun in the game than to shoot you with it? Although locked out content can be frustrating, delayed gratification isn't something we can just get rid of altogether. For some genres, specifically narrative-driven games, it can be used for much more positive results. For instance, power gimping, or better known as the classic bait and switch.
The wrath of Olympus grows. Soon I will no longer be able to protect you.
I need no protection.
At the beginning of God of War 2, you could enjoy the full range of Kratos' godly powers before they were abruptly ripped away.
Kratos dragged himself up from the dirt.
Similarly, the Force Unleashed let you play through the first level as the uber-powerful Darth Vader, before dumping you in the gimped space shoes of his lackluster apprentice Starkiller. Power gimping may seem cruel at first, but it can be used as a very good form of motivation, giving players just a taste of things to come before gradually rewarding them on each step of the journey back. For many, however, games like Dragon Age 2 delayed the gratification just a little too long. Again, players started out all-powerful before being stripped back, but then they faced an enormously long grind to get back to this point, and for some, the reward wasn't worth their time.
Which one?
You know exactly why I'm here!
Another effective way of managing players' expectations is by delivering rewards on a slow drip feed mechanic. Poker machine manufacturers have long known that the best way to keep punters hooked is delivering rewards at random intervals. And the same principle can be applied here, but with slightly less sinister ends. It's good cake. Diablo 3 delivered loot with randomized properties at randomized intervals. If played online with higher leveled players, the game would even allow you to find overpowered gear you were unable to equip.
I can't use this yet.
A method also employed in the first Borderlands. Having that almighty piece of loot sitting in your inventory was almost unbearable, but it worked. Many speculate that gratification can only truly be enjoyed if it is at first delayed. But as player frustration begins to break through to developers, we're starting to see some interesting expansions on some of these techniques. For instance, New Game Plus modes are becoming more common in games like Arkham City and Dead Island, allowing players to carry their finally acquired powers, skills, and weapons into subsequent playthroughs. When experimenting with delayed gratification, developers need to carefully balance how their content is distributed to players. More importantly, they need to trust their audience. But then again, maybe us gamers need to learn to be a little more patient and remember that sometimes the longer the wait, the sweeter the reward. Oh.